Do you feel like you live just to pay bills? That money comes and goes without leaving any trace of progress? Each month, it's as if you're stuck on an invisible treadmill, running without moving forward. Millions of people live like this, believing it's normal. But what if I told you there's a way to escape this cycle and build an income that gives you real freedom? A life where money works for you, not the other way around? In this video, we'll dive deep into the journey of breaking free from financial struggle and reaching true independence. Based on solid principles of personal finance, investments, and the habits practiced by the world's wealthiest individuals, this content was created for those who are tired of just surviving and want, once and for all, to learn how to thrive. And if you've made it this far, you're probably closer to that turning point than you think. After all, the first steps begin with awareness, and that's the goal of this video. The secret isn't how much you work, it's how well you understand the game. Welcome to Army Capital. I'm Dominus. Here, you'll uncover the hidden strategies, the untold truths, and the mindset that leads to true financial independence. Behind this voice is a group of strategic minds, people who played the game, lost, won, and now share the real moves. Most people never learn what building wealth truly means. They were taught to study, get a job, pay bills, and if possible, save a little of what's left. If anything is left, the problem is that this model was designed to keep you in the system, not to set you free from it. The result? A cycle of financial stress, salary dependency, and a constant feeling that no matter how much you work, your financial life stays in the red. The truth is, without financial education, freedom becomes a distant myth. But what if we change the game? Throughout this video, you'll understand the pillars that support a financially free life, awareness of your spending, creating a monthly surplus, the right investments for your profile, and most importantly, a mindset shift. We'll explore the habits that separate those who live paycheck to paycheck from those who live off income, the power of diversification, and how to build income streams that earn money even while you sleep. This is not a video about getting rich overnight. It's about building, step by step, a real path out of the bill-paying cycle and into a life of choices, not obligations. On the surface, everything seems normal. You wake up early, work 8, 10, sometimes 12 hours a day. You get your paycheck at the end of the month, pay the bills, maybe order pizza on the weekend. But silently, this cycle repeats like an invisible prison. A prison where the cell is comfortable enough that you don't rebel, but tight enough to never let you out. Bills have become the modern symbol of financial servitude. Rent, loans, credit cards, car payments, streaming subscriptions, insurance, food. When you add it all up, your salary no longer feels like it's yours. It's just a bridge between your effort and the hands of the companies that counted on it before it even hit your account. But how did we get here? The answer lies in a system that never taught us to think like owners, only like consumers. From an early age, we learn to spend before we earn, to desire before we plan. Marketing is persuasive, credit is tempting, and the lack of solid financial education creates the perfect combination to keep people trapped in this cycle. Meanwhile, compound interest works against you. Debts accumulate silently, with rates growing day by day. A credit card with 25% annual interest may seem harmless until it becomes a snowball. And the worst part, many continue paying the minimum, not realizing they're just feeding a system designed to keep them in the red. Have you ever wondered why most people work for decades and still can't retire comfortably? It's not due to lack of effort. It's due to the lack of a strategy that goes beyond survival. And it's at this point that understanding how this cycle works becomes a first step to breaking it. The real enemy isn't the bill itself, but the lack of planning behind it. When you spend without knowing how much you earn, when you finance without understanding the total cost, you hand over control of your life to others. It's like walking blindfolded through a minefield. You might move forward, but the risk of getting lost is constant. The good news? This cycle can be broken, but not with magic formulas, with a complete repositioning of your mindset and financial behavior. What seems impossible today may become natural tomorrow, as long as you're willing to do what most won't. Think strategically about money. The question remains, are you working to pay bills, Or are you working to free yourself from them? Before any wealth plan comes awareness. And it may seem simple, but very few people actually know where their money goes at the end of the month. They just feel it disappearing and can't trace the path. This lack of visibility creates fertile ground for financial chaos. It's like trying to drive at night without headlights. You may move, but you have no idea where you're going to crash. The first step to getting off the bill-paying treadmill is to clearly see all your expenses. That means writing down, categorizing, and observing every cent that goes out. Many people find this tedious or excessive, but the truth is that the wealthy do it almost religiously. They know you can't multiply what you don't even know exists. Financial control isn't about being stingy. It's about having command. Apps like Mint and NAB, You Need a Budget, or even a simple Google spreadsheet are enough to reveal uncomfortable truths. That daily coffee, forgotten subscriptions, small Amazon impulses that together become a massive bill. And when you start seeing those numbers side by side, something shifts. You realize that often the problem isn't lack of money, it's lack of direction. At this moment, a powerful concept arises: conscious budgeting. It's not just listing fixed expenses, but intentionally choosing what deserves your money. It's the difference between spending on autopilot and investing in your goals. Have you ever thought about redirecting $300 a month, money that used to vanish on nonsense, into an emergency fund or a dividend-paying stock? Here's the turning point. You don't need to earn more to start organizing yourself. You need to spend better. It's a common mistake to think income is the problem. Sure, more money helps, but without management, even lottery winners go broke. In the US, over 70% of big jackpot winners lose it all in less than 5 years. Why? Because they never learn how to manage what they had. By tracking expenses, you start to recognize patterns. You might realize your biggest expense is emotional, spending to reward yourself, to relieve stress, to look good in front of others. This kind of behavior doesn't change with spreadsheets alone, but with self-awareness, and the rich understand this. They treat money as a tool, not as therapy. This process may seem small, even boring, but think of it this way. If you can't control $1,000, you'll never control 100,000. Habit comes before greatness. Clarity comes before freedom. When you know exactly where your money is going, you can decide where it should stay. Do you know where your money is going right now? Or does it simply vanish each month without a trace? Now that you know where your money is going, it's time to flip the switch. Create surplus. Yes, that margin between what you earn and what you spend. It sounds simple, but this small difference is a starting point for any wealth-building journey. Without it, no matter how hard you work, you'll always be putting out fires, never building anything. Surplus is your financial oxygen. It's what allows you to breathe, invest, seize opportunities, and protect yourself from emergencies. And contrary to what many believe, it doesn't only come from a salary increase. It often comes from simple decisions: lowering expensive rent, switching phone plans, selling and used items at home, cutting habits that drain your account without real return. But we also need to talk about the other side: increasing income. And here, the rich have a clear approach. They don't rely on a single income stream. They pursue side projects, extra gigs, freelance work, knowledge sales, and eventually their own businesses. It all starts small. An online course, a one-time service, a monetized channel. Have you ever thought about turning one of your skills into monthly income? This is a crucial mindset. Extra money isn't for spending more, it's for buying freedom. This is where most people go wrong. When they receive a bonus, extra income, or a raise, their first reaction is to raise their lifestyle: a new car, more takeout, installment travel plans. But the wealthy do it differently. They maintain the same lifestyle for a while and use the surplus to accelerate their plans. Do you know someone who earns well but still lives in debt? It's more common than it seems. In the US, the culture of lifestyle inflation is an invisible poison. The more people earn, the more they spend, and the wheel keeps spinning, just at a higher cost. The result? The feeling of never moving forward. even with a good salary. And it's exactly at this moment that surplus becomes a powerful weapon. With it, you can build an emergency fund, invest in assets, take advantage of market dips, and most importantly, begin to build passive income. Without that margin, all those dreams remain ideas. With it, you turn goals into strategies. It's worth repeating. Creating surplus is a decision. It's not just a result of earning more. It's the outcome of intentional choices. The more you understand this, the more control you have. And when control is in your hands, everything begins to change. So tell me, are you creating space in your budget to grow, or are you filling every cent with the things that keep you stuck in the same place? Creating surplus is the starting point, but the real game changer happens when you turn that surplus into capital that works for you. This is where smart investing comes in. And no, we're not talking about gambling or miracle promises of getting rich quick. We're talking about building a solid foundation that grows over time, even while you sleep. The concept of passive income is simple but powerful. You invest money today in something that keeps generating returns in the future. It could be a dividend-paying stock, a real estate fund, U.S. Treasury bonds, or even a well-structured digital business. The idea is the same. Stop trading time for money all the time. In the beginning, the returns may seem small. Earning $2 or $5 per month in dividends may feel insignificant, but it's not. That's a silent machine beginning to turn. And the more you feed that machine, the stronger it becomes. That's why millionaires treat every dollar like a soldier. They put their money to work for them. Have you heard of the power of compound interest? Albert Einstein called it the eighth wonder of the world for a reason. It acts as an invisible accelerator. You invest, earn returns, reinvest those returns, and the curve begins to rise. In 10, 15, 20 years, what started as small contributions can turn into real wealth. In the U.S., there's a growing culture of investing in ETFs like the S&P 500, which historically has offered average returns of 7% to 10% per year. Imagine investing $500 per month for 20 years at that rate. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars accumulated, the result of discipline and consistency, not luck. But investing isn't just about money. It's about vision. It's about understanding that time is your greatest ally. Those who start early reap more. Those who understand risk avoid traps. Those who seek knowledge make fewer mistakes. And that brings us to a fundamental point. Before you invest in learning. Tools like Fidelity, Vanguard, Charles Schwab, and even apps like Robinhood offer easy access to investments. But what really makes a difference is your behavior. The wealthy don't invest just for returns. They invest with strategy. They know their goals, understand their risk profile, and remain calm even when the market fluctuates. So I ask you, are you spending your surplus, or are you multiplying it with intelligence and long-term vision? Up to this point, we've talked about numbers, tools, and strategies. But there's a point that definitively separates those who build wealth from those who remain stuck in the scarcity cycle: mentality. And we're not talking about shallow positive thinking. We're talking about a completely different way of seeing money, time, and one's own value. Wealthy people think long-term. While most seek instant gratification, the new phone, the more expensive car, the temporary status, those who build wealth seek consistent returns over the years. They understand that planning today means giving up small pleasures to reap future freedom. It's a choice of vision, not a sacrifice. Another major difference lies in focus. A poor mindset focuses on price. A wealthy mindset focuses on value. A $200 course seems expensive to someone who only sees the cost. But for someone who understands that knowledge could generate thousands in extra income down the road, it's a cheap investment. This is a silent logic that shapes different financial decisions every day. And it doesn't stop there. People with a wealth mindset take full responsibility for their financial lives. They don't blame the government, the boss, the parents, or luck. They understand that even in the face of difficulties, there's something that can be done. They ask themselves, what can I control? What can I learn from this? That attitude turns every mistake into leverage for the next step. Another central point is the relationship with failure. Most people fear losing money, but the wealthy know that mistakes are part of the process. What they avoid is repeating the same mistakes. They study, analyze, test, and adjust. This isn't blind boldness. It's courage coupled with learning, and that can be cultivated too. Have you noticed how wealthy people value their time almost obsessively? They understand that time is the only resource that doesn't come back. So they delegate tasks, automate processes, avoid useless meetings. They buy time to think, create, invest, and that changes everything. Because those who control time control the game. The wealth mentality also reflects in habits. They read frequently, learn from others' mistakes, surround themselves with better people, avoid comparisons, and maintain discipline when no one is watching. This doesn't happen by accident. It's the result of daily decisions, often invisible, that accumulate over time and generate powerful results. Financial freedom doesn't come only from cutting expenses or investing well. It's born primarily from diversifying your sources of income. Rich people never rely on just one stream. If one channel dries up, others keep flowing. That's the secret behind true security, and also the emotional peace that's often mistaken for luck. Most people rely solely on their salary. Work, get paid. Don't work, no income. But the wealthy build income systems that operate with or without their direct presence. These can include investments, rental properties, royalties, business partnerships, automated online sales, or monetized content creation. In the United States, many millionaires have between 5 to 7 income streams. And the most interesting part? Not all of them are massive. Sometimes, an online store brings in $300 per month. A rental property generates $900. Dividends provide $500. Combined, these small flows create a stable network that keeps spinning even when the market wobbles or the economy tightens. A simple example. Imagine you have a blog that receives consistent traffic and generates ad revenue. At the same time, you invest in stocks that pay quarterly dividends. On top of that, you sell an ebook or digital course that requires initial effort but sells itself afterward. These are scalable and automated income models, and anyone can start. Of course, none of these streams appear overnight. But once you understand the game, you begin to seek assets, not liabilities. Passive income doesn't mean income without work. It means the work is done once and continues to generate returns. That's one of the most transformative ideas in modern financial education. Many of these sources are within reach for anyone with computer, internet access, and a bit of dedication. Selling on Etsy, starting a YouTube channel, writing on Medium, offering online consulting, or even renting out space on Airbnb. The digital world has torn down many barriers, but you have to choose to step out of your comfort zone. And you know what's even more interesting? Once these income sources start working, they free up time. And with more time, you can create even more streams. It's a virtuous cycle that only begins after the first step. That's why the hardest part isn't multiplying, it's starting. But most people never start because they believe only the big players can do it. So let me ask you, are you waiting to have extra money to start a new income stream? Or are you going to start a new income stream so you never have to rely solely on your salary again? The truth is, no one is coming to rescue you financially. There's no secret shortcut, no winning ticket, no magic formula. What there is a path, and it starts with a decision to no longer accept living just to pay bills, to break the cycle that drains your energy and rewrite your own narrative. The financial life you dream of won't be handed to you. It will be built brick by brick with conscious and consistent decisions. Think carefully. If you keep making the same choices, you'll live the same results. But if today you've understood that there's a logic behind freedom, that it's possible to build something greater than bills and survival, then something has already started to change. It's not about perfection, but about progress. And every step in the right direction is already an act of courage in a world that pushes you toward autopilot. The journey to escape the bill-paying cycle and build income that sets you free isn't easy, but it is possible. And the most powerful part of it all is that it depends on you. By understanding where your money goes, creating surplus, investing intelligently, adjusting your mindset, and building income streams, you change not only your bank account, but also your relationship with time, with work, and with life. If this video made sense to you, if it sparked a new perspective, then don't stop here. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and share this content with someone who also needs to escape financial stagnation. Here, you'll find more content that helps you grow in a real, conscious, and sustainable way. Because in the end, freedom isn't about earning a lot. It's about building something that allows you to choose every day. Now, you know, not because someone gave it to you, but because you came looking for it. If you stay on this path, you'll stop chasing money and start making it chase you. This was another report from Army Capital. I'm Dominus, and I'm watching you.